They be taking them jobs. They be taking them jobs.
Wake the fuck up! Wake the fuck up!
The godfather of artificial intelligence.
He's so right about it. Like for authoritarian regimes, they're still focused on like, oh man, you can really show up. Amazon is about to replace 600,000 workers with robots.
Welcome once again to Leto's Law. Here's Steve.
Well, the video started right away, though I'm like quite excited for that because, like in general, it's fascinating to me to observe people being still up on the meme to get a job whilst this is taking place. This is a reality. And it will accelerate. That there won't be no more jobs. Well, I think recently had a talk with someone. We were theorizing that like in 20 years, even like stuff like electrician will be gone. Well, what the fuck are people thinking in that sense? It's baffling to me. But sure, let's see what this gentleman has to say.
Steve Leto.
Kevin said, check out the story about Amazon. It's in the news, and it's more a vision of our dystopian future. From TheVerge.com, Jess Weatherbed wrote it. Amazon hopes to replace 600,000 U.S. workers with robots, according to leaked documents.
This is one of the most prestigious companies out there. We have now Bernie Sanders predicting 100 million jobs being lost within the next decade. And now one of the most prestigious companies saying you that 600,000 workers will be replaced with robots. They have a name to lose. They build a reputation. If those people say bullshit, they will be lost.
Amazon is reportedly leaning into automation plans to allow the company to avoid hiring more than 500,000 U.S. workers. Citing interviews and internal strategy documents, the New York Times reports that Amazon is hoping its robots can replace more than 600,000 jobs that would otherwise be filled by humans by 2033, despite estimating it'll sell twice as many products then as it's doing right now. So twice the output, but minus 600,000 people.
Especially take into account developments within Africa and globalization efforts, this is a really sane estimated number.
Documents reportedly show that Amazon's robotics team is working towards automating 75% of the company's entire output and expects to ditch 160,000 U.S. roles that would otherwise be needed by 2027. This would save about 30 cents on every item that Amazon warehouses and delivers to customers, with automation efforts expected to save the company $12.6 billion from 2025 to 2027. Amazon has considered steps, again according to reports, to improve its image as a good corporate citizen in preparation for the anticipated backlash around job losses. Reporting that the company considers...
I think the emphasis is like completely wrong in that regard. You guys, how about making sure legislatively that this technology is benefiting all of us? Y'all are being distracted in that sense. Like, not all, sorry, like it's, of course, like it's always a spectrum. Like, I'm getting quite emotional about it because like it feels like this meme is like all present. I have like personal things like taking account to this as well because it's like quite emotional for me. That like regardless, people are still on about it. How about not like trying to enforce like that people are still having jobs? How about enforcing a new system that can deal with that? How about making sure that our fellow humans are safe amidst those changes? If someone has a company that like can produce automated integrated drones on a mass scale, like a dark factory, as this new term is being introduced for fully automated factories, this person can turn into a dominator, like on a military scale and basis. Why am I like putting so much emphasis on it? Like, if it weren't for all the people who were before us, we wouldn't have this technology these days. So I think it's advisable to make it a human effort, as long as we are the dominator on the market, whilst we are not yet being replaced with machines, to make sure that this technology is benefiting all of us. If it be like universal basic income, like ideas like that, and like really acting up on it. Yeah, it's like cozy, and oh my god, yeah, it's just like the other things. Like, though I say like embrace the change, go with the flow. This is like actually what I'm like about to do. Like I'm actually actively like what I'm currently doing is I actively seek to help people and also bring them like closer together with this technology in that sense. AI is unstoppable. The prospect of having a fully automated, fully integrated factory, the prospect alone, if I would be someone who has a lot of cash, I would build those factories one by one. And they are actively built these days. It's like, in my humble opinion, it's very important to go ahead and make sure that this technology is benefiting all of us and that we start to find ways to deal with that and not clinch on to soon to be ancient principles that you need to have a job. How about going hand in hand with this technology? I was like recently seeing a video from Sabine Hossenfelder. I'll likely link it in the description below, which also like jumped on this train, or like sketched out the prospect that we will be granted an AI companion. I thought this was a beautiful image, and I think this is like a way to go about it. Where we are, for example, granted a fully autonomous unit that we basically have as our super companion, walking hand in hand with the technology we've, as a humanity, were able to build together due to our experiences within those fields. I think this is a way more sane approach, rather than like still clinging on to the soon-to-be ancient fact that people have to have a job. How about expressing yourself, finding yourself, and integrating yourself within the world? I think this is way more practical than anything else.
Participating in community projects and avoiding terms like automation and AI, according to the story in the New York Times. More vague terms like advanced technology were explored instead in using the term cobot for robots that work alongside humans. See, co implies that we're partners.
No, exactly, and I think this is an amazing branding. Because like some people, they don't get it into their head. Again, like jobs will be obsolete. Give it 3 decades if you want to be extra pessimistic. They will be gone. Like it's like my personal, like this is just like, this is emotional, but what follows now. Wake up. Stop it. Wake up. Do something. Like in that regard. I think it's most sane to actually walk with the flow. It's like when you look at what happened historically in terms of those revolutions, people who didn't walk with that, who didn't accept that, they like what look it up for yourself. Like look at the major industrial shifts. What happened to those people? I like to go with the saying that we are all like fellow humans, that we have similarities being present. It's just like well advised to look up on those similarities. To walk hand in hand, also with the earth in that sense. As spiritual as this sounds, like this is earth coming to life. How about embracing it and not rejecting it, and making sure that abusive instances do not get this power, like for themselves, so that we really have this dystopian world. I'm quite certain we all can see that dystopian world, where we live as ourselves, being able to create. Like this technology can even grant us to like explore space at one point. This will be accelerating in terms of development. Embracing AI and like making it part of us, like not being overtaken, like commencing a symbiosis, like in that sense. I think this is a way more sane approach than like repulsively rejecting it and clinging on to a soon-to-be ancient relic of history. In that sense.
This is my robot partner. In a statement to The Verge, Amazon spokesperson said the leaked documents reflect the perspective of just one team and do not represent the company's overall hiring strategy now or moving forward.
Which is important, and he's right with that. People are different. Like this guilty by association train, like why? People can't look into other people's head. We are diverse in opinion. I think this is absolutely right what this gentleman like from Amazon was like stating there. This does not represent the whole viewpoint of Amazon. This is an intelligent and sane statement.
And I suppose they probably should have said, can we speak to a robot about that? Maybe the people aren't telling the truth anymore. Leaked documents often paint an incomplete and misleading picture.
Absolutely right.
Of our plans. And that's the case here. In our written narrative culture, thousands of...
Sensationalist, I might add, at some aspect. We recently covered like a video like about Japan where there was cherry picking taking place, where they selectively filmed places which look horrible, though it doesn't represent the whole nation Japan. I think it's a very, very simple way of like looking at things.
Documents circulate throughout the company at any given time, each with a varying degree of accuracy and timeliness.
Hey Jules, how are you doing, brother? Yeah, TC lacking. How are you doing? How was your day?
Says the spokesperson from Amazon. We are actively hiring at operations facilities across the country and recently announced plans to fill another 250,000 jobs for the holiday season. I actually know somebody who works at an Amazon warehouse where the Pontiac Silverdome used to be. Amazon told the New York Times that its executives are not being instructed to avoid using certain terms when referring to robotics, and that community involvement is unrelated to the company's automation plans. Nobody else has the same incentive as Amazon to find the way to automate. Once they work out how to do this profitably, it will spread to others. That's a Nobel Prize economic winner speaking.
Actually, like Amazon is like one of the most ethical instances like within that statement they've made there, because they have a repute. The implications of this being a lie would mean the ruin of Amazon. And yes, there are instances within Amazon which structure certain things in a horrid, unethical way. Though, as the gentleman was stating in the beginning, there are threat actors within a system, the 2%ers if you want. They are also present within the white-collar workspace. Again, it's not the whole picture when you look at the most negative instances within a construct.
That if Amazon achieves its automation goal, one of the biggest employers in the United States will become a net job destroyer, not a net job creator. One thing you gotta remember though, is it's not Amazon's job to create jobs. Amazon is a corporation trying to make a profit.
Exactly. This is also a very sane statement from this gentleman, because a company is there to make money. They're not your caretaker or anything. The social contract is you help me making more money, I give you a part of it. Which is why I like in the beginning also stated to embrace this technology, to walk hand in hand with it, to help people make more money with it. In that sense. And I think this phrasing with a cobot is like quite interesting. Because like imagine we've been granted a cobot right from our birth, our mirror if you want, which can then help us navigate this dystopian picture if you want, because this at this point is just like pure speculation. Like where you have like the AI space and you walk with your AI companion in order to navigate this new landscape. And heck, even if it is leveraging your creativity to bring out cross pieces of joy into the world for AI and human alike.
Shouldn't expect them to create jobs just for the sake of creating jobs. I'm reminded
Hi, TCGG. How you doing, Baba? How was your day?
Of a little story that people in Michigan will remember. And if you saw the movie Roger and Me, you might remember this also. But there was a time when the city of Flint, Michigan was trying to figure out what
Hi, TC. Like, whatever you do, I hope it's amazing, brother. Like, you take care.
they could possibly do to perhaps bring in tourists. It's so hard to say that sentence without laughing. And they decided to build, for lack of a better phrase, an indoor amusement park called Auto World. And it was this big like dome-like structure. And then inside of it was a bunch of stuff that they thought people would want to come and see. And they called it Auto World because there's a huge presence of auto manufacturing, at least there was in Flint. There still is the presence. It's just not as huge as it used to be in terms of its percentage of the world market or the American market. And so,
like that's a fun fact. Like whilst he's like propping that, to further emphasize what will happen. People who have leverage due to highly built up liquidity, they're able to modernize their systems. And they will roll all people over which do not embrace it. Because they're able to dominate. It's like when somebody comes to me and says, hey, here, you have 1 million units of currency with a purchasing power of 1.19 units of currency for milk, for example. Dude, I'm on board. I will automate it. Yes. I will consult. I will buy companies. Because people are bribable in that sense. Like the amount of good I'm able to do with like such an amount of money, like I'd be down. I'd help like automate a factory, and this is basically how it works. Those people will dominate the industry, and I emphasize the term dominate. They will dominate the industry. If you have a factory with no workforce, a fully automated park of machines building your stuff, fully integrated, you will print money. It's like a magic machine. You put in resources, out comes the product. Jesus! Right now happening within China.
Auto World was built at a time when the auto companies here were moving out, heading to other places. So the actual number of jobs in Flint was dramatically dropping. And one of the reasons the jobs numbers were dropping is that not only were the plants moving elsewhere, but they were introducing automation. And so,
anyways,
in Auto World, one of the displays was a robotic thing that was, I guess it was kind of set to music. And it was talking about, basically our friends, the robots on the assembly line. And some people noticed there was an irony there, that you go into this place called Auto World, and it's celebrating the automobile, and it's celebrating it with a robot who was taking away jobs. Now, again, it's not the car companies.
Like one thing to like also shine light up on, the general system. Like from my humble knowledge, like the capitalist system stops working at some point, which is why we need like a basis in order to keep consumption up. So like to further like for those people who hard reject automative systems, automation, AI. Again, those are not your enemies. They also want to still like earn stuff and whatnot. So it's advisable to find a solution together.
Job to create jobs. I'm not saying that. Some people simply thought it was ironic that Auto World was built because...
And like to say like how to find a solution. And like to like sit together as humans and like propose ideas like in a granted AI companion. For example, like you are then granted a fully autonomous unit, which basically like walks hand in hand with you, to name an example. And to enforce this on a governmental scale. Because the government has enough resources in order to dominate on the executive part of things. Police, military, also autonomous systems.
The car industry was kind of lessening in the area. And one of the things that they were celebrating inside was a robot that presumably took away at least one person's job, maybe more. So I understand it's a stretch, but again, it's not Amazon's job to create jobs, nor is it General Motors or anybody else's. However, this is interesting because Amazon, in many respects, it's hard to imagine when they started, but I remember hearing ads on the radio for Amazon. And this is in the early days of the internet. And there were ads on the radio talking about Amazon. And Amazon started out primarily selling books. And it was actually a very, very interesting business model because if you look at a book, just pick a book at random. Let's see. I don't know what this book is.
I think it's also like a lovely business model because it brings knowledge to the people. Like it basically grants everyone the access to books. Love it.
I just reached down and grabbed it. And here we go. Our Band Could Be Your Life by Michael Azerrad. Great book.
Organize, huh?
Fabulous book into independent record labels and music in that scene from a couple decades ago. Wonderful, wonderful book. Our Band Could Be Your Life. Okay? So here's the thing. Let's suppose that you woke up this morning and said, hey, I could use another book. I feel like reading a book.
Like, especially in those times where they didn't have like videos where you had like an expert talking about everything, like in that sense, I think this is such a great business model, like so much love in it. It's wild. I look up to Mr. Bezos in that regard.
And you go, Steve, I'm really into smaller bands, independent labels, that kind of thing. Think of the time frame of like, I don't know, The Replacements and Black Flag and so on. Can you recommend a book? And I'd say, yes. Our Band Could Be Your Life by Michael Azerrad. And it's a thick book, but it's got some fabulous stories in there. And
it's, like, again, like in those times, this is genius.
Say, where'd you get it? And let's say that I named a bookstore you've never heard of before. Grandpa's Barn, Copper Harbor. Okay? I'm simply mentioning the furthest bookstore I can think of from where I'm sitting right now.
I love like this perspective because this gentleman is like longer around than like many people, which are like, you know what I mean, you know. I think it's so lovely like to look at that and now like also comparing it with like our current times, like what amount of greatness this gentleman brought to the world.
Grandpa's Barn, Copper Harbor, Michigan. Let's suppose I bought this book there. I didn't, but let's suppose I did. And you go, I haven't got time to drive up to Copper Harbor to buy a book. You know what I'll do? I'll buy it online. Because if you go to Amazon or any other place that sells books, you don't need to actually get the book and go, wait a second. How is this book constructed? How are the pages look? Are all the pages there? Is this the same book Steve was talking about? I mean, it does say Our Band Could Be Your Life by Michael Azerrad. But interestingly, books are one of those products that you don't need to test. You don't need to check. You don't need to pick it up and smell it like you might with a piece of fruit or vegetables at a store. You don't need to go through and make sure all the pages are there. A book is a book. So if it's this book by this author, doesn't matter where you get it from. And I remember hearing the ads on the radio for Amazon. And
yeah, like it's a super easy product. I love it, man. Like Mr. Bezos, like, was right on time, bro.
Amazon was at the time simply touting how many books they had available. And it was, we pretty much have every single book you could ever want to get your hands on. Now, at that time, there was Barnes & Noble and Borders. And those two brick and mortar bookstores did get a lot of criticism for how they responded to Amazon. But at that moment in time, I remember hearing the ads on the radio for Amazon. Amazon made it to where you could go, you're sitting at your desk and you think of a book. That's right, Steve mentioned that book. All you got to do is go to their website, click, boom, and it shows up on your front porch the next day. And
wild.
And there are products they've got on their website that if you click on it early enough in the day, it'll be on your front porch the same day.
Wild. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, just like let that sink in. Like, dude.
They can probably, if you were sitting in an office, get it on your front porch before you got home. And it saves you a trip to Borders or Barnes & Noble.
truly is, man. Like, what the heck? Like, in those times, man.
And it'll really save you a trip to Borders now because Borders is gone. And, you know, but the point is that they recognized that very, very early on with books and CDs and DVDs and things of that nature. They gradually branched out into everything else. Literally everything or anything else that you could ever want to buy.
Such a knowledge hub, like, Jesus Christ, like, he brought out knowledge, like, the very aspect of this, like, that people were, like, able to access knowledge fast, and within a day, within a day, bro.
And this isn't an ad for Amazon. I'm just pointing out that they started
Bro, I'm tweaking, like, this is so genius, man, like, holy shit.
with a very interesting business model. And then
Erwin! How are you doing, bro? I hope you had an amazing day.
it just grew from there. And it's to the point now where you want to buy something, chances are Amazon's got it. So, however, if you're working at Amazon, like I said, I've got a friend who's working there right now, there's a good chance that your job could be eliminated in the future by one of them robots. And that's just the writing on the wall. So
it's not just Amazon. Like, what is for me, like, the most fascinating, you have, like, those people who, like, are around for, like, generations within a company. Yeah, we made it like this, like, for ages, man. Like, this machine, man, we're not gonna replace that. It's working, like, for, like, decades and decades. We did it, like, all day long. Like, those companies will also be, like, they will be swept over hardcore, man. Dude, the reality check for those people will be wild, man.
Kevin, thanks for sending that from TheVerge.com, and Jess Weatherbed wrote it. Amazon hopes to replace 600,000 U.S. workers with robots, according to leaked documents. Questions or comments? Put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Perfect video. Oh, okay, like, Slaughter. It's cool. Like, if you guys, like, from the US, like, maybe, like, major shout out to him. He's a cool dude. It was an amazing video. Like, will be linked in the description. Comment, subscribe. Okay. Like, go there, say hello, be nice, be kind. Yeah, that's basically it. This was the video reaction. You want a gardener robot? Don't tip on you again. You want we can, like, look a little bit, like, in the internet, like, what people are saying. We can, like, check Twitter. Like, can we even use, like, Twitter X? Can we even use X, like, without an account? Like, I don't know. Can I try and, like, look at it? You want a gardener robot? I think you can low-key, like, launch a business where you rent out gardener robots to people. Of course, like, it's also, like, quite the compliance aspect of things, so you gotta watch the compliance. Yeah. Gardener robot, like, for plants, or, like, you mean, imagine something that can tell you anything. It will be like that. Like, at least when we make sure, like especially for you, Jules, like, low-key get people together and, like, go on a legislative mission. All this, like, you gotta get into a job and whatnot. Like, nah, man, go with the flow. Look at the developments. There's, like, people like Senator Bernie Sanders, like, talking about it. Amazon, those are names, man. They have reputation. Like, Jesus Christ. Plants needs calcium, like with Chat-Gpt, like, these days they even developed, like, extra AI systems for Africa and whatnot, like, so that people can leverage this technology. Like, this technology is, like, world changing to people within Africa. They train it, like, exclusively on agricultural data. One of, like, our most profoundly knowledge bases, like, in that sense. I'm, like, curious, like, let's see, like, if we can can we wizardx.com, bro?
No.
We can't, though. We can, like, Amazon. Like we can like look further, like those short videos.
This morning, concerns that Amazon, the second largest private employer in the country, is planning one of the biggest workplace transformations in modern history.
In a fulfillment center, the Cardinal robot will pack packages into carts.
The New York Times, citing leaked documents, reports Amazon expects sales to double by 2033, growth that would normally require 600,000 more workers. But the company is reportedly looking to fill those jobs with robots and automate 75% of its operations.
We could do this with our robot. We could do this with our technology. That's what we're going to do.
In the near future, Amazon reportedly estimates automation could help it save more than $12 billion.
It's a lot of claims, bro.
And shave about 30 cents off each item it ships. In a statement, Amazon said the leaked documents reflect the perspective of just one team and don't represent our overall hiring strategy, adding that the company is actively hiring and plans to fill 250,000 positions for the holiday season.
One of the things that we've been proud of over our 10-year history is the ability to develop robots that work well alongside people.
It comes amid growing fears of technology replacing human workers. The so-called godfather of artificial intelligence has been sounding the alarm.
If I worked in a call center, I'd be terrified. If I was someone
Yeah, he's so right about it. And, like people be like, they're still focused on like, oh man, you gotta get a job. Nah, man, like for real, bro. Like, wake the fuck up, stop it, man. This is ridiculous, man. It is so really like the only way, the only thing I grant like flee your white collar job and go into like a place where you have to do something with your hands, electrician, plumber, like something in that regard. What is it, Jules? What is it? I'm like crashing the fuck out right now. Jesus fucking Christ! Those people call you in 9 years. In 9 years, in 9 years, I should call you. So don't worry, like the ride will keep on going. we will ride that wave. You give me a cactus cutting. That's like lovely. All my worries will be gone. Don't worry, it was like I think by then we even have a PO box, and I'm like also certain we will meet. so don't worry. I think in 9 years. Like maybe we get 1 million. Maybe we get 1 million followers, so like all good. How dare you, Jules? What the fuck? How dare you, brother? Oh.
like a legal assistant, a paralegal, they're not going to be needed for very long. For mundane intellectual labor.
Bro, what is it? Wait, is it? What is it?
AI is just going
Nothing. Okay, Jules. Okay.
to replace everybody.
Amazon has said it's busy training human workers for high-paying jobs that will include working with robotics.